Okay, so 8 times 11 is 88. And what'd y'all find? 2 and 24? 22 and 4. Yeah, I agree with that. 22 and 4. So again, if you can't find it, you do y equals 88 over x to be able to see your factors. And what do we do next? Divide by 8. And so 4 eighths reduces to 1/2. And 22 over 8 reduces to 11 over 4. And opposite of being positive is negative. So that is your two answers. Now your two factors, just as a review, would be 2p plus 1 and 4p plus 11. And of course 2 times 4 is 8 and 1 times 11 is 11. Okay, number 5. 5 and 6 deal with your second formula on your formula chart. So both of these are not set equal to 0, so you have to put them in standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. So, and you want your a to be positive. We're going to move the 18 over, so opposite of positive 18 is negative. And is there anything we can take out? Are they both even numbers? Yeah. So we're going to take out 2. So when you take it out, you divide. 8 divided by 2 is 4d squared. And 18 divided by 2 is 9 equals 0. Now, difference of 2 squares. So when you have the difference of 2 squares, what's the opposite of squaring something? Square root. So we're going to take the square root of both sides. And remember, you have the plus and the minus. So the square root of 4 is 2. So we're going to have 2d plus and 2d minus. What's the square root of 9? 3. So we're going to have the positive and negative. So you're going to move the 3's to the other side. And is it going to be 2/3 or 3/2? What's your answers? Is it going to be 2/3 or 3/2? Okay, so let's look at it. So the opposite of adding is what? Subtracting. So you have 2d equals a negative 3. So we're going to subtract 3 on both sides. And we're setting each of those equal to 0. So the opposite of multiplying times 2 is dividing by 2. So whatever's in front of your variable is going to end up on the bottom. And so then the opposite of subtraction is addition. And 0 plus 3 is 3. And then we divide by 2. So d equals negative and positive 3/2. And of course the negative turns into a positive and the positive turns into the negative. So, but you still have negative 3 over 2 and positive 3 over 2. Okay, number 6, same type. So we're going to move the 81 or the 25. So if we move the 81, is our x squared or d squared, is it positive?
No.
No. So we have to move the 25, the negative 25 d squared, so that we have a positive. Because can you take the square root of a negative? No. So the difference of 2 squares, the a has to be positive and the c is negative. So minus 81 equals 0. So these are both perfect squares, so we don't have to take anything out, and there's nothing to take out. So what's the square root of 25d squared?
5.
5. So 5D plus and 5D minus, and the square root of 81 is 9. So that's your two factors. And then as the one above, we're going to do the opposite. Opposite of adding 9 is subtracting 9, and then divide by whatever's in front of D. So, and then plus, opposite of subtraction is adding, and then divide by 5. And because they're the same but opposite, when you change them to opposite, you still get the same two answers. So you can just leave them. And we've got one more. So, number 6. What are we going to move? Can we factor it as is? So it has to equal 0 to be able to factor it. So, move the 16 to the other side, and if it's positive over here, it's going to be negative over here. So 8, 62, and 16. Well, we know that they're all even, so we can at least take out 2. Could we take out 4 or 8? Can we take out 8 out of 62? 8 times 8, 8 squared is 64, so 8 doesn't go into 62. And if you try 4, 4 doesn't either. So 62 divided by 4 also gives you a decimal. So 62 divided by 4. So the answer is no, but we can take out 2. So 2 comes out, and we end up, what's our first term? 8 divided by 2 is, so 4D squared plus 31D and minus 8. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So the advantages of taking out something, your numbers end up smaller. You could still find the solution. Now the factor would be incorrect if it's just asking you to factor, but you'd still find the solution. So what is 4 times negative 8? Negative 32. So what multiplies to give you negative 32 and subtracts to give you 31? So that's just going to be 1 and 32. Which is going to be negative? The 1 or the 32? So the larger one, because 31 is positive, has to be positive. And so the 1 will be negative. And then we have, if we were right in our factors, so what are we going to divide by? 8 or 4? 4. Perfect. Yeah, once you take the 2 out, you're going to divide by 4. So opposite of negative 1/4 is positive 1/4. And 32 divided by 4 is 8. And opposite of positive 8 is negative 8. So that is your solution. So again, just a reminder, you can go to y equals 8x squared plus 62x minus 16. And let me see where I'm at. I'm on standard. So there's the negative 8 and there's the 1/4. So you can visually check and see if your answers are correct. And then of course in the table, you can put 1/4. I have mine on ask, and negative 8, and they should give you zeros. If they don't, you've done something wrong.